too many people are held back by their ambitions. They're held back by the target because we think to ourselves, okay, like if I don't have a goal, how am I going to motivate myself? But you have to be really careful about a goal as a source of motivation.
Should we have goals?
Sure.
Why do you hesitate?
So let's think about how a goal affects the motivational system. So I think we should have goals with care.
Should we have goals without focusing on the outcome of the goal as part of our happiness?
Yes. So we should be we should have goals, but we should be detached from our goals.
From the results.
Yeah. So a way to put it, like I'll kind of give a simple analogy to start because then we're going to get technical. See, it's okay to want, let's say I want a fried chicken sandwich. It's okay to want a fried chicken sandwich, but are you unhappy if you don't get it? Let's say you go to a restaurant, you're like, hey, can I get a fried chicken sandwich? You're like, oh, we're out. How do you respond to that?
Yeah.
So one of the biggest challenges for me, so I was planning on becoming a monk and then met my wife. And then that was like,
you're not allowed to be a monk. Yeah.
And so I was really like struggling internally because I had this idea of like, okay, I'm going to be like free from attachment and celibacy. And I'm not going to be like these other humans who are, falling in love.
All these lustful thoughts. And feelings
I need to be better than that, right? Lust is for animals. I will be greater. So one of my teachers.
So was it 7 years you studied to be a monk? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
But when you were studying to be a monk,
I met my wife.
You weren't being a monk. You weren't living as a monk.
No, but I told her, I was like, girl, look, I'm sorry, babe. This is a temporary thing. This connection that we have, like
really?
it's temporary. Yeah. Like I'm planning on taking my vows. So it's like, it's fine for us to, hang out and
fun. Yeah. This would be my
fun,
last hurrah.
I just want you to know out of respect,
really,
I want you to know out of respect that I'm going to take my vows when, a couple years from now.
Why hadn't you taken it yet within 7 years?
Oh, I tried. So at the age of 21, I went to my teachers and I said, hey, I want to become a monk.
And
they said, being a monk is about giving up your life. You have nothing worth giving up. Literally.
Oh, so you have to have something.
Exactly.
Not
They're
just be like,
you're just running away.
Yeah.
You're running away. You haven't achieved anything. So first thing you should do is go back, get a doctoral degree.
Wow. And then give it all up.
And then give it all. Come back when you're 30. And so they let me come back. And they're like, we'll continue teaching you and training you. Yeah. But you don't get to take your vows until you're 30 years old and you have a doctoral degree. Those were their two requirements.
Then you could give it up and come live like that. But, okay. Not everyone has done that to become a monk, though. Some people are younger when they become a monk, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, these were my teachers.
Yeah.
Right? So my teachers were amazing. They also knew me very well.
They're like, yeah, you really don't want this.
You don't realize. And they explained something interesting to me. They said that becoming a monk is going to be harder than anything you do in the real world. So if you can't succeed in the real world, you're not going to succeed as a monk.
You'll fail as a monk, yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So that's how I ended up getting a target of okay, I'm gonna become a doctor and
do something big that I have to then sacrifice and give up.
Absolutely. So that was also where
then I'll be worthy. Then my ego will be worthy to be a monk.
Not quite, but great joke. This is what I had at that time. I had the ego of having no ego.
Yeah.
I have no ego. Other people have ego.
I'm so above everything.
I'm beyond this. And speaking of identity, so I was.
That's an identity in itself.
That wasn't. It's an identity where I devalued the things that I had failed at.
Sure.
So, like in college, this is pretty classic. I don't know what your college experience was like, but like you're into a girl and you ask her out, and then she says no, and then you tell your bros, you're like, yeah, I wasn't that into her anyway. Right? She's not.
It was beneath me, anyways. Yeah,
right?
anybody
like
cares.
it's like
whatever.
So we devalue things to protect ourselves. We develop this identity.
Yeah. So when you were meeting her, you said, I'm going to be a monk. This is for fun for the next year or whatever. But then don't get too attached to me.
Yeah,
I'll fall in love.
Right. Because I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't want to hurt her.
Yeah.
Because being in a relationship with me, when it ends, it's so painful for anybody that I'm with. Oh my God. My compassion. I don't want to hurt you from the parting of me.
Oh shoot! And so and then what happened?
So the first thing is she's amazing and she knows me well. So she was not worried at all. She's like, "You're not going to become a monk. There's no way this is going to happen."
Yeah. You're too attached to this medical stuff over here. Yeah.
So then I decided to go to medical school and stuff like that. And it's really crazy because I never looked at my grades when I was in med school. And so I got a call from one of my mentors, and after graduation, he's like, where are you at the award ceremony? And I was like, I don't know. I'm like at home. And he's like, well, I'm presenting you with an award. Like, why aren't you here? Wow. I was like, I didn't even know. I had gotten so divorced from the outcomes of my actions. I just showed up, and even when sometimes when I was in residency, you get all these kids from Harvard who are like really great, and then they get a B, and then they're devastated. And I have to do this thing where I try to explain to them, you're not here for grades. Like, you got to understand it. At some point, you're going to be like in an elevator, and someone is going to start giving birth when you're trapped in an elevator.
And grades don't matter at that point.
And grades don't matter. You don't get to say, and I'm a psychiatrist, but like, I don't get to say, oh, you're in labor. Like, sorry, I'm a psychiatrist. I can't help you.
No, right? You have to do your duty.
You have to. So
if you're on a plane, if you're on a bus,
residency in medical school is about like learning how to be a doctor, because one day someone will depend on you. So it's not about being a great doctor or being at the top of your class. It's about focusing on learning the material for its own sake. And I think when you talk about making things win-win, I think if we really were to do like an X-ray of your mental structure, we would see that you would be very focused on action. Mm-hmm. You'd be altering your perception, right? You're not going to give yourself some pat on the back and, oh, I'm a winner and I'm a wise, compassionate man, Like that's not the copium that you're going to be huffing, which is what the kids say nowadays.
Just huffing? Okay.
Yeah, huffing copium.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what the kids say.
Sure.
So you're going to be really focused on, okay, like how do I integrate this data? This is negative feedback. Mm-hmm. How do I incorporate this feedback? How do I plan on this feedback? So there's no you involved. It's almost like you're like, it's just information coming in, yes. Calculation, change in the outside world. Mm-hmm. And people may think that feels really sterile, but the other side of it is when you're holding your child. There's no ego there. There's just you being present. And if we look at action, what's really cool about action is when you're one with action, that's when you're the most present. So just focus on doing the thing. It is not in your power to have something happen.
Yeah, the results.
Results are out of your hands.
Yeah, but focusing on the action today, or
yes.
This moment, the next best action.
Yes. And this is the problem we were talking about goals. The problem with goals is that goals actually get us away from actions.
Really?
Yeah.
How so?
When is a goal? It's a weird question, I know.
When is a goal?
Yeah.
Well, if you create a goal with a timeline, you can have...
Is there ever a goal without a timeline?
Some people have a goal and say, I want to write a book, or I want to launch a podcast, or I want to be in a relationship.
When
they don't
is
say
that?
When.
But when is it? Is it now?
They don't say when sometimes. But I think if they say when...
Even if I say I want to write a book,
yeah,
it's not today.
Right. It's
in the future.
Yes.
All goals are things that will happen,
yes.
ideally.
Yes.
All goals are in the future.
Yes.
When does action happen?
Now. Or when you take the action.
And when you take the action, when is it?
In that moment.
Exactly. Action happens now. Goal is in the future.
Uh-huh.
Fundamental. I know it's so weird. We don't ask ourselves these questions.
Yeah.
But so this is the problem with goal, right? So this is what's really scary is the most ambitious goal is the easiest to procrastinate on. I want to write a book. How long does that take? Oh, it takes 2 years. Okay, so you're saying it takes like 720 days? Why don't we just do a little bit more work in 719? So goals are really sneaky things. It's not that they're bad. So our frontal lobes require some way to
organize time,
strategy, right? So you need that for the sake of a goal. Mm-hmm. But if you're not careful, a goal will induce procrastination.
Because it's too much work. I can't do it right now, or it's daunting, or
yeah. If you're lucky, that's what you feel, because then oh my God, this is overwhelmed. I need to fix this. What's way more dangerous is, oh, I can take care of it tomorrow. It's not even daunting.
You never take the action.
Right? So action is completely independent of goal. And accomplishing big goals involves taking lots of action. So focus on action, not on the goal. The other really interesting, scary neuroscience thing is that
What if someone says, okay, I don't have a goal, but I'm just taking the action, like I'm learning Spanish every day. I'm taking the action to practice Spanish every day. But if I just said, well, I don't have the goal to learn Spanish and be able to speak it, then why am I doing it? Why am I doing the action if there's no thing that I'm actually looking to step into? Just for the action's sake?
Great question. So goals serve a function. Once again, the goal here is is not to get rid of this stuff. So in order to be a functional human being, if we're pursuing enlightenment, the enlightened person has no goals. They just exist. They're just
better than all the goals of the world. Their ego is, I bet.
Yeah. They've abandoned all that stuff.
Yes.
They're just chilling. They're just chilling. They're not above it all. They're not. Yeah, I know. So goals serve a neuroscientific purpose. They organize our frontal lobes. They allow us to sequence out things. So that's good. But a goal being used to sequence things, I'll give you an example. I'm going to the airport later today, so I had to pack.
Yeah.
But packing it's not like it's a goal that I have to do, but I'm not like attached to it anyway. It just helps me organize the sequence of events, and then I have to take the actions.
Yes.
There's no identity caught up in it. I'm not like, Luis,
look at me.
trained at Harvard.
Yeah.
Packed my own undies. I'm great, bro. So this is where goals are important, but we should never have them serve a greater function than what they really should be serving.
What should they be serving?
Helping us organize action. That's it.
But when you had when your monk teacher said, go become a doctor or do something, and then come back to us when you're ready to give that thing up. And you said, all right, I'm going to go to medical school and I'm going to become a doctor. You had a goal in mind.
Yes.
You wanted to accomplish something, some type of learning, experience, credibility. And there was a deadline to when you wanted to accomplish it by, right?
Great.
So how did you navigate the goal and the actions with that?
Yeah, so a beautiful example, because it's an example of I didn't care that I accomplished the goal. This is the really weird thing.
You didn't care if you were to accomplish it or not.
No, so I needed to accomplish it, right? So goals are necessary, but we don't need to get attached to them. We don't need to get hung up. They're necessary steps, just like packing. I have to pack.
But you weren't attached to the result.
I wasn't attached to the result.
If you became a doctor or not, you weren't attached.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was attached, but I tried really hard not to be.
Gotcha.
Right? And that's why, I never looked at my grades. I was like, okay, I'm going to someone will tell me if I fail.
Yeah.
I'll get an email if I fail. And I didn't fail, so whatever. I'm focusing on learning the material.
That's good.
Right? So I know I love that you're asking these questions because it's so counterintuitive from the way that we think. Here's the reason that detachment from our goals is really, we want goals, we want to be detached. Here's why. If you have a stumble towards your goal and you are attached to it, you are more likely to give up. So your brain says, okay, why are we doing this? We're doing this in order to get this. And now we get a bit of information that becomes less likely. So then our brain says, okay, we're not going to achieve the goal. So I see this all the time in the patients that I work with who have early stage sobriety. And so it's really interesting because when they start to relapse, I've been sober for 160 days. I had one bad night of alcohol, and now it's ruined. I lost all of my sobriety. What do you think they do the next day?
Go drink more?
Absolutely. Now that it's busted,
Screw it.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Right? So the self-loathing, all this kind of stuff. So if you want an outcome and something gets in the way, if you have a setback, your attachment to the outcome is going to cause you to give up.
So when someone has a setback, how should they process that setback and continue moving forward towards a goal, whether they're attached or detached to the outcome?
Great question. Can I give another example before this? So this is also why people don't get started. So I struggle with this a lot. Maybe this is something people can empathize with. If you're not sure you can achieve something, it's really hard to get started. So I would do this thing where if I got I had less than a 2.0 GPA, I'd failed a lot of classes. So I was like, okay, I need to get straight A's.
And you both.
Here.
You know? But you became a medical doctor and I didn't.
Potato, potato.
Yeah, exactly.
So I did this thing where since I needed A's, now I have a 1.0 GPA. So I need a 4.0 to balance it out, right? I need to have an A. I can't afford to get a B in order to save my GPA.
Stress.
So then what would happen is if I got a B on my first test, I would drop the class because I can't hit my goal anymore. I'm going to give up. So it's so easy to not get started when we are attached to our goal. Because think about it, when I'm attached to the goal, I can't ask her out yet, bro, because I need her to, I'm so in love. I can't I wouldn't be able to live with myself. So what am I going to do? I'm going to take her to the airport. I'm going to be there for her, but I'm never going to shoot my shot. I'm never going to take that chance.
Friend zone.
Because I can't afford to lose. I have to win. I want to win. I have ambition. I have goals. I have dreams. And so unless it's going to work, I can't try. As we detach from the goal, right? As we let go, which is challenging. It requires there's a lot of emotion towards it. I think a lot of people run away from the negative emotion. How do you act? I think your question was, how do you act if you are attached to a goal? You accept that on this planet, you cannot achieve it. It is not within your power to achieve. You know, there's something that I think is really scary about the society we live in. We've started taking things lying down. So like nowadays in society, this is going to sound kind of weird, but like when we're on the brink of failure, we don't fight with defiance, right? We're like, okay, if I'm going to lose, then I'm just going to give up. We've stopped fighting futile battles. And that's so devastating.
What do you mean by this?
Like, if you're going to get screwed, go down fighting.
Go all the way.
Go all the way. Even if like, you know, I got my first 40 rejections to medical school, my next 40 rejections to medical school. And my uncle pulled me aside and he's like, bro, this is not working out. Like, go get just a PhD. Like, go to plan B, right? Like, come on, man. Like, your GPA is not changing. What are you expecting? You're an idiot. You're being stubborn. My uncle's a great guy, loves me very much. And it's good advice.
Yeah.
Right?
You're just repeating insanity over and over and over
Absolutely.
again.
And so, like, this is where, like, we need to be defiant in the face of the world. Like, we need to be doing stupid action.
Yes.
You know, like, that's what it is. When you say don't give up, what does that mean? That not giving up means being an idiot. Let go of the possibility of it ever happening. You know, I was reading about, like, Stranger Things and how many times Stranger Things got rejected.
Yeah.
You know? Another good example of this is Harry Potter, like, got rejected over and over and over again.
Squid Games also was like 10 years it took for it to sell.
Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
So we have to be really careful about goals, because if we attach ourselves to the goal and we get negative feedback, we are going to give up. So focus on the action.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoy this and you want more inspirational content, make sure to click the subscribe button below and click right here to watch what's coming next.